So, welcome to my very first episode of what is this? My very first podcast. Um, I am a little bit nervous, but just bear with me with that. You'll be able to hear that through my voice, my face expressions, and every weird things that I do. But that's just who I am. I'm a very out there person slash weird. But I feel that's why people wanted me to make a YouTube video so they can see my expressions and everything I do while speaking, because things go always wrong with me in any conversation. So before I start, I want to say thank you to everyone, legit everyone that showed love and support through when I announced that I wanted to start that I am starting a podcast. I got so many DMs and people commenting and people sharing my post. I felt only love during that day. It was also Valentine's Day, so I felt like it was all about love that day. So I really want to say thank you, because you guys mean so much to me, and a lot of it had I hold off on this whole podcast thing for the longest time because I never really had the courage to start it, but now I do, and I finally want to talk about things that I feel I want to share, because I feel like I can also help someone else. I want to talk about topics that people are afraid to talk in general about. For example, what I'm going to be talking about today, which is anxiety attacks, or just anxiety in general. Mental health, I feel like that's so important, especially during Corona. I live in a country where a lot of the things were done for people that suffer mental health, but at the same time I feel like there could be more. So yeah, I want to talk about that today. Just a little disclaimer, I will have this podcast is going to be in different languages, since I do speak four different languages. Just a little background for you to know that I was born in the Philippines, but I was raised in Aruba, and Aruba is an island in the Caribbean. And there I learned how to speak Papiamento, Dutch, and Spanish. English and Tagalog I already spoke at home. But yeah, the three other languages are what I learned at school. And the language that I'm most comfortable in speaking is actually Papiamento. I feel like on a daily basis, that's actually a language that I speak. But mind you, I do speak other, it's like a whole pot of languages. And unless I actually have to speak one specific language, even then I go oh my God, how do I do this? But so, I will also have subtitles so you can follow easily. Right. So before I even jump in to the anxiety topic, let me just tell you that I'm not here to educate anyone, and I'm not here to be the teacher or the person that knows it all, and definitely not what I want to do. I want to share with you my experience. I'm going to be very open, raw, and unfiltered about a lot of things. You might see tears, you might hear my voice tremble, but those are things that I feel with podcast, and it comes with it. That's why I really like the idea, but also I chose to share this with you. And I feel if I can even help just one person out there by telling them that I believe that there is always a good in any bad that's happening. I feel like starting it already is making me very nervous. And very emotional, because it's not something I easily talk about, not even with my friends. So we are going to do this together. Okay. Anxiety and mental health are things that I feel should be more often a topic of discussion, and people should be able to talk about them freely. Why do I say that? It's because I experienced something 2 years ago. I've experienced my very first heart anxiety attack 2 years ago, and I wasn't aware of it at all. I was aware of what was happening, but I wasn't aware that it was a panic attack. So let me tell you, before I go straight to it, I went through a breakup 2 years ago. And I'm gathering up my thoughts to not make this dramatic. And I was with that person for 10 years. We've been together since we were in Aruba, and then we came here, and then all of a sudden, it was just not working anymore. So yeah. At that moment when I first experienced my heart, why do I keep saying heart? Because it hurts. But the moment that I first experienced my anxiety attack I was not aware of that it was an anxiety attack. So let me tell you let me explain to you that situation and walk you through it. I was still in school, and I was writing my thesis. So I was walking from my house to the city, and that's like a 15-minute walk. I was meeting up with my friend because my thesis we had the same clients, and our client was the municipality of The Hague. So I was meeting up with him, and then I was just walking like a normal person walking through the city. Pero dia ay what? Okay. Pero dia ay mi adisidi di tuma un otro ruta. Qual uta un ruta kumita tuma normalmente, pero just no e ruta ku, it's just not the normal for me that day. So I was walking, and I had my friend in my headphones. So I feel like before that situation, I was already having a mini anxiety attacks, but it wasn't as big as this one. Dus mi tava canando by din kaya, and then mi ayega un plein, mani masha grande men skinana den hagen di un plein grande, una bota passa pa ayega din kaya. And then for some reason, my heart started beating so fast. And I have an Apple Watch, and I was looking at it, and I was like, this is not normal. This is not. I'm walking. I'm on a walking pace. I know my body. I'm also that type of person that is very much aware of their body. I know how my body works. I know everything about my body. So when my body is acting weird, I can easily tell it. So, right, I started sweating, and then I was holding to my phone like I don't want it to go away. Like for dear life, I was holding on my phone, and I was just looking down. I felt like turhende tatawak me. Tarweli no tania sina. And I'm very much aware of it now. But back then, I was not at all. Like I thought everyone was looking at me. And that scared me a lot. That I feel like that I had that panic and fear feeling in me. And I was like, that's not right. This is not me. This is not normal. So I was talking to my friend, and he also didn't know because I never experienced it, and neither did he. So I was walking, and I told him, he said, just breathe, try to breathe, because I was also heavy breathing. He said, try to breathe on a normal pace, try to control it. And I said, I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I'll meet you there, right? So, well, I didn't even say I'll meet you there. I said, after that, I'll go to you. So I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and I stood in the line, and I was waiting for my order. And then I suddenly saw him. He came, and he was like, oh, no, I said, you don't have to come. And he's like, no, I was just worried. And I was like, okay, And still, I was just in shock about what happened. It was, I think, let's say, like, throughout the whole day, 2 minutes. maybe not even like 5. So it was a very intense 5 minutes for me, because I've never experienced anything like that. So then we got to the municipality because we have a space there to. No, actually, we were at the library, and at the library, we have a space where we could work and record our podcast. So we were there, and then I thought, you know what, he told me, like, he advised me maybe you should call your doctor for, an advice or anything. And I knew I had to call my doctor because I suffer from a migraine, and I had to call him for medicine and stuff and ask for new things and whatever. So I knew I had to call, but I did not want to call for that reason, to be like, so something happened and I want to be like, I want an appointment to talk to you about. No, I don't want to. I was very in denial about that. So I was going through this whole 5 stages of grief situation. And if you don't know the 5 stages, it's like first of all, you go through an in denial stage, then you go to anger, then you have like the bargaining situation, then depression, and then you accept it. And some people go from like the denial to anger in like easily. But I was very much in denial that I needed help. Like, that's not right. That's legit not right. So anyways, I ended up getting help. I ended up, asking for going to my appointment, making that appointment and going to that appointment. But the hardest part of that was accepting that you need help. And to me, it was also really difficult to, like, it's okay to not be okay, Mia. That thing was really difficult for me to not just comprehend or understand, but it was very difficult for me to accept it. I knew that what the cause was. I had like sleepless nights. I've been having, I think that I had this anxiety, I think 4 months after my breakup. I never expected it to happen. I never thought that I would go through something like that. I knew for sure that I will go through something, but I wasn't sure that that's the specific way that I was going to experience it. Ooh, it's a very, 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 it's a very sensitive topic. And I know I'm allowed to be very real here. But it's also, like, it's a platform where I wanted it to be very positive and let's be just okay with everything, right? Right. So I was minotota sigur unda mitawata na momento kung mi api di ayudo. Dus mi ahay mi afspraak mitawata sako eta bij verwijs mi na un hende. Minotota sigur na Kiko, paso tin diferente hende, but I wasn't sure na king anto ila actually verwijs mi no psycholoog. And they say it shocked me. That shocked me for like dear life because I was like, what? Why? I'm fine. And ela durami basta pa mi atuma mi miss contact ko e persona. Even though he offered, they can also just contact you. I said, no, I will contact them. So, I wanted that control. So then I had that control indeed. And it took me maybe a week and a half to officially call them, to actually call them. And so I did the whole, like, getting to know the person, looking if we have a click or something. It just it never really daunted to me that I'm going to be sitting in front of a psychologist and talking about my problem, that I actually have a problem. Why? Because I always, we are not gonna cry. I always saw a lot of things going very smooth and perfect for me. I know there's no such thing as perfect, but I saw a lot of things going very well. Like, I never expected to experience a breakup, to experience a heartache, to experience crying every night. I never thought that I would experience that. And So to me, that was a shocker. That was very much a shocker. I think I'm not sure if I was very angry at myself for not knowing better at that time. Of course, like, what could I have known? Could I have seen that I am gonna get anxiety attacks? No, I can't. Of course, you can't. That's inevitable. And also, that's the reason why I actually decided to get help, is because my body was telling me, Mia, you can't. You cannot do this anymore. You cannot keep hiding. You cannot keep telling yourself that you're okay if you're not. Obviously, there's so many things I want to talk about. Obviously, I mean, I had friends, but there's just always that extra thing that you need to hear sometimes. And I feel like the only person that can actually tell you that is someone neutral, someone that does not know you. And I was right. Like, this person, until today, she helped me be the person, the grown up Mia, let's say, like the healed Mia. I did not know that I could heal like this. And I owe a lot to her, because I was very much in denial of asking for help. And then eventually I did. And I'm happy I did, because that's the only way I knew how to help myself during that time. I was very lucky and blessed to have friends around me that were very supportive. But I feel like there's always just that one thing that you need, that just like, Mia, this is it. So I started getting that help, and the help that I needed. And just a little bit of the background of my anxiety also. I felt like once I started getting help, it became way worse for some reason. I had issues going. I have like a supermarket where I used to live. The supermarket is like, what, a minute or 2 minutes away walking. And I overthought about everything so much. Like, the queen of overthinker right here for you. Like, I got ready, mi tau tekla, mi ti makeup, mi ti mi tas, mi ti turcos. Pero mi no por sali fe e cas. Mi just no por sali. Ando mi nunca, mi no por comprender. What was stopping me? Kiko. And it couldn't be the thought that I would see my ex, because I lived at the other side of the city. So that's insane. That's impossible. So I had a fear in me, and I did not know what it was. And this, I had to go back to my psychologist and talk to her about it and be very open about it. And I'm going to be honest, and it wasn't easy at all opening up to her. My first appointment was not even the right one. It was tears on tears on tears on tears on tears. And one thing I also had to accept was I cried behind the doors. I avoided to cry in people. I feel like how I was raised was, no, you have to man up, like, you don't show your weakness. And I feel like it's a very Asian thing that, we don't show weakness to anyone. We are strong people. We're strong individuals. You cry at home and that's it. And that's what I did. And with her, it was very difficult for me to, like, just let one tear. But she knew what to ask, and anything she asked, like waterfall, like a whole waterfall, like, so yeah, that was a part of me that I felt was also very difficult for me to let go and accept, for sure, accepting opening up with someone that I don't, first of all, know that well. So she helped me go through a lot of things, like especially that whole leaving my house, just doing normal things. And yeah, you would think there were days that I did not leave my house because I just couldn't. I was so lucky that my thesis partner came to The Hague almost every day. And that's the only reason why I went out. That's the only reason why I left my house. And my school is like 30 seconds walking from my building. I couldn't understand what it was. I couldn't say it, or I couldn't find the right words to express how I felt, but I just couldn't leave. And I felt like, and at that moment, I also knew that you're going through this whole depression situation, Mia. You're being depressed. Even though I acted very well. A lot of people saw another side of me. Like, they saw me as happy, me as good. And I had to, because this is very hard for me to say, but I wasn't the one to break up with that person. I was the one they broke up with. So it was very hard for me to accept that. And that I still couldn't accept that for the longest time. So it's a very difficult concept to even comprehend. I just lost track of what I wanted to say. But right, so it's a very, the whole thing of anxiety is that people forget that we all go through this. And I might have gone through it in this way, but I know other people go through it in different ways too. It wasn't until I started talking to other people about anxiety that I felt like, okay, I'm not alone. There are other people that go through it, and they just go through it in different ways, in their own way. And yeah, I feel we should be able to talk about this, not on a daily basis, but we should be able to talk about this freely, right? So I feel like this is something that should be a normal thing. But I cannot imagine it not being a normal thing, because a lot of people, they're very closed with their feelings, which I respect, because I feel, that's why it took me forever to talk about this and to start a podcast, because it's a very sensitive topic to you. It's you're making yourself you're vulnerable, and that's not easy. Not everyone can do it. But yeah, I want to talk about this more, and I want to talk about other things, and I want to talk about other things that's what I just explained and what I just told you is like 1/4 of, like, not even 1/4, like a tiny piece of what I go through on a daily basis through my mind. I have to say that I can control my mind, and I have more control over it, in the sense of I know what to feed it. I read books. I read a lot of books, and self-help books helped me a lot during my process of healing. And I feel like that was one of the most important guide for me to mold myself again and be whole. So yeah, I feel like there's so much to talk about this topic, and I'm very curious about what you guys have to say about it. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this actually, it lifts also weight on me, because even my psychologist knows that I want to start this podcast, and she's been pushing me to do it. It's because, and nothing was really stopping me until there's just, like that thing that you wish you can do, but you just can't, so you let the universe take over. And it did. And I got it this year, and that's why I started it. So for me, just to close up this whole thing, this first episode, why I chose the podcast name, It's Mia's Choice. Wow, why am I being so dramatic? It's Mia's Choice came from I really, really believe that everything I have done and every decision I have made in life was my choice. I'm very aware of that. And any good or bad was my choice. And it all led me to where I am right now. And I'm very, 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 what is this? Sorry. I'm very, very proud and happy. I feel like everyone, they have a choice in life. Whatever you do, whatever you decide. Just a little sneak peek of what I want to talk about in the following topics. My ex had a choice to leave me, to break up with me. He had a reason for it. But back then I didn't understand it. But now I do. And I feel like it's a choice. You have a choice. Maybe at that moment you don't understand it and it doesn't make sense, but you have a choice. And he also had a choice to stay with me, right? But I don't want to speak for anyone. That's not something I want to do because it's not fair. He's not here to defend himself. But I just want to use that as an example because he could have also chose to stay with me. But would that make him happy? No. Would that even bring any ease to him? No. So I get it. I understand everything now. I don't understand the details, but I do understand the bigger picture. And that's what, I want to bring the whole podcast in, is like taking you to my journey of growing and maturity and understanding and how I got to where I got. And I just really want to share to you my experience. There's nothing wrong in doing things the wrong way. That's the way you learn. People make mistakes, right? So yeah, you stand up, you fall, and then you stand up again, so it's part of life. I feel like that's how you get to experience it. And because at the beginning I was saying that I was very in denial about a lot of things and I did not expect it to happen to me until I did not experience it. I would have not known. People say a lot like, I can only imagine what you're going through. I used to say that a lot and now I don't. I try to not say it as often for the simple reason because you don't know. You can only imagine, that's true, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And most of the time people don't want to hear that. And that's what, that's the things that my psychologist actually, people think they know what to say and they think that's what you want to hear at that moment. That's not actually what it is. And different people are built differently. I'm that type of person that I need to hear it, like the facts, like very harsh and direct. Like, no, Mia, that's not, assim no Mr. Ta, but assim de fault. And other people need to hear it like, you could do it better the other time and this and, um tiki mais suave. No, a mim não tá assim. Me quer pra botar roupa directo, me quer pra bisar me com eta, and just be real and honest. There's no beating around the bush. I don't like that. So if someone else does that to me, I feel like that's what I need. But not everyone, I had to come to that sort of realization that not everyone's the same when it comes to healing. Not everyone heals at the same time, and especially not everyone heals at the same pace. Right? So yeah, that's what I meant with why I chose the It's Mia's choice, because I feel like I have a choice. I chose to heal. I chose to mature. I chose to live my life a certain way and have a very, very unique routine in my life that I do. And I'm very content with it. So I feel like I can only grow from here, right? I also just want to talk about what I like, a little bit more about what I want to create with this whole podcasting thing And it's simply just creating a very safe area, a very safe platform where you and I can talk. If you feel like you want to talk to someone, I can always talk to you. You can always just write in the comment, or you can, well, okay, let's not be aggressive. Or you can always just comment, or write me an email or write me a message. Anything, when you feel alone, write to me, DM, anything. Don't hesitate to, because I feel like when I was going through something and I wanted to talk to someone at like 2 a.m. in the morning, I didn't. And I'm telling you, you can. There's enough people who's willing to do that. And I'm one of them. And I am very passionate about this, very much, because I'm it took me a while to be proud of myself, I have to say, and I have to admit. But if I can help you, I'm very happy to. Yeah. It's been a long time coming, starting this podcast. But I really hope to be your friend, be your older sister, be your older cousin, be your mom, be anything to you. Or even be just that punching bag. I will be. Because I might not know what you're specifically going through, but I feel like I could help you. We could help each other. I could learn from you. You could, anything, both sides, right? So it's only about courage, strength, will, determination, because at the end of the day, you have a choice. And I chose to do this. So yeah. I don't know how to better way to end this podcast, but I'm very happy that you stayed and listened. I am very lucky to have you all and blessed to have you all in my life. I can only hope and wish for you to listen to the next following episodes to other very intense topic, and I hope and wish not to cry again. But if we will, then we have to, and that's what I want to do. I want to create a very unfiltered, raw platform where I can be very open to you guys. So I guess I'll see you next episode then. Peace out.